I'm Kirsty Kellogg, and this is my fiscal plan presentation. The budget model that I chose to develop my fiscal plan is a combination budget, and I wrote out a nice little chart here explaining the combination budget and why I chose to use it. The first part is the athletic department. They get their money from, ticket sales, tax revenues, and tuition sources. So I would use this for like the basic needs such as balls, jerseys, uniforms, maybe flags for the flag corps, any needs that the program would need. And then in the middle there, that's the booster club. The athletic booster club is a huge help to a lot of athletic programs. They get their money from concessions, fundraising, and donations. I would use the booster club for like extra equipment such as like conditioning and training equipment, help close the gap on bigger purchases such as, let's say, a volleyball net. If the program can't raise enough funds to purchase that themselves or the athletic department can't afford it, the booster club can pitch in and help close that gap. So these are for the needs and wants kind of area. And then the final part of this combination budget was the program fundraising. So this is where the team or the athletes fundraise for their programs. And they can also get money from donations or sponsors. And they can use their money for whatever they want. So like warm-ups, practice equipment, or any kind of summer things like travel, camps, and jerseys. So this would probably fall into the category of wants instead of needs. As far as fundraising guidelines go, I also wrote that down for you so you can listen as I speak. The fundraising guidelines I would put in place is that each program can have at least 2 fundraisers. No program can overlap another, so that way there's not 2 fundraisers going on at one time. Therefore, both fundraisers would not fail but not get as much as they might if they were doing it on their own. And it can be in the school year or in the summer. But if it's in the summer, those funds will be used for, the next school year instead of, if they did it in the school year, be used that year. And I also thought of doing like one big fundraiser for all programs, where all the athletes across the board and every program helps. So this could be like a festival or a fair at the end of the year. And then they could split the funds that they earn between the boosters and athletic department to help their programs when they need or want something new. This could also be a huge help for an expansion of a program or add a new program in the future. Donations and community financial support, as well as sponsors. Any donations or financial support given needs to be in a documentation and fill out a form. So what's it for, who's it from, why is it needed, and such like that. And administration needs to approve everything all across. So superintendent, I myself as the athletic administrator, and the principal. Sponsors, I would allow programs to have sponsors, but they need to agree to be up to 2 years sponsoring that same program. I feel like sponsors who sponsor one program a year and then just get out, it's not familiar to the girl or the athletes. It's not consistent for them. So if a sponsor stayed up to 2 years, they could get some more consistency in there. How I would control costs would be rotational schedule for jerseys or uniforms. So every 4 years, there would be 3 or 4 programs that get brand new jerseys that year. If there's a program that needs jerseys before this 4-year mark, we can talk with another program and see if we can just make that work. So I feel like when a program needs a jersey and if they're like damaged or anything, I think that's a little bit more important than replacing pretty much brand new jerseys for other programs. So with having conversations, we can make that work. And then fundraising, purchase orders obviously need to be filled out. And they also need to be approved through administration, like I said, superintendent, principal, and the athletic administration. I also am huge on inventory. I feel like at the end of the conclusion of every season, the head coach has to do inventory on everything. That way we can keep up on how many jerseys are available for athletes and keep up on the equipment, keep updated and such. And then one last thing that I added was if there was funds left over. One thing that I don't agree with that has happened in my district is that the funds that are left over, they just kind of go to all the athletic department at the very end of the year, which I don't feel like is very fair, because if a program fundraises for their own funds, why should that money go away? So I feel like as an athletic administrator, that money will stay throughout the year. You can't force a program to spend all that money in that fiscal year just because. They'll just blow it on things they don't need. I feel like if they're going to try to build up on something, like maybe a new net, like I mentioned earlier, they could do that throughout years. So I feel like funds should be carried over every year. And that is my fiscal plan. Thanks.